Good morning and thank God it's Friday. We're happy to be here again to give you all the information that you deserve to know. I'm Ibrahim Shita.
And of course, thank God it's Friday. Good morning, Nigeria, and thanks for joining us. It's always a pleasure to know that we have you with us every morning. It's definitely going to be a beautiful show as there's a lot to talk about. The name is Ria Abdul.
And I am Olamide Odekule. Indeed, it is time for breakfast. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your morning with us.
Of course. It's always a beautiful
good to see
time.
you on this side of the table.
Home sweet
Good
home.
to see you. No, let me have your hands. Good to see you.
Home sweet
But let
home.
me tell you something. It's always beautiful to have Olamide here and then have our on trending again.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
we can see how versatile
And it
she
feels
is.
good to
Exactly.
be the only guy among you.
You should have been sitting
No,
in the middle.
no. You know the thing? He should not
Okay.
just say the only guy among ladies. The only guy among very beautiful,
Beautiful ladies. That's how
Okay,
you
so,
know. That's
so
how
I'm,
it works.
I'm flanked by the bevy of beauties on this table. So it means that we're going to be having a very beautiful show.
Of course, like we always
our
do.
best, we'll do our
But it's
best.
definitely going to be a beautiful morning. There's a lot to
Absolutely.
talk about on the show this morning. We'll have our newspaper review, and just after the newspaper review, we're going to do our banter, we'll do the FCT brief, and then we come again, we do trending, where we have Olamide giving us all those stories that are trending from all around the world. So please, like I always tell you, grab your cup of coffee and let's have a fantastic show. But we will begin with this story where occupiers of shanties and illegal structures at Owode Elede Market along Mile 12 have been issued 2-day removal notice by Lagos State Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development. Now, the ministry says the action became necessary after a series of engagement with key players since 2023. Senior correspondent Ivy Kanu has more reports on this.
Arriving the area, the team led by the Assistant Director, Town Planner Precious Ativie, wasted no time as they set out pasting the removal notice. They insist they are left with no other option than demolition in another 2 days.
We've served contravention, we served demolition, we served seal up, we are now serving quits. All the notices have elapsed. We are just serving a reminder. The notices we served today is just a reminder of what we've already served. All the statutory notices have been served. We've held stakeholders meetings with them, so they are all aware of what is happening.
We had the meeting several times, and there's no definite conclusion on the meeting. I came to Alausa with my lawyer, with everything. No definite conclusion. My name, Professor Sadioye. This is what it can generate a lot of momentum.
According to them, no responsible government would allow some people to continue to deface the state and also make free flow of traffic difficult. With this visit in another 2 days, enforcement and possible demolition would take place. Ivy Kano, TVC News, Lagos.
Thank you so much, Ivy. That was a very, very beautiful story. And the fact that, you know, is something that needs to be brought to limelight. Thank you for that report. But let's talk about this Owode market. We know how busy it is. You know, it's a market where they do a lot of buildings, and it's a very busy market. And we're looking at the shanties there. But oftentimes people will say that if the government is telling these people that leave this particular place, where are you sending them to? Because some of these people, this is their homes. This is what they know, you know, and now they're giving them just 2 days. Let's be realistic here. Even when you want to pack out from the house that you're living in, you cannot pack out within 2 days. Don't you think this is sort of a short notice?
No, it couldn't have been because the notice will have been there for a long time, you know, for several months, if not years. Owode Elede markets, you know, you see some even places where even on the road and all of that. And then the government is working on, you know, the master plan, which has to do with development of Lagos State. Now, I'm not holding brief for the government, but certainly the government will always have something to do about the serenity, the sanctity of, sanctity and sanity, you know, on our roads and in places where we say, yes, these are markets and all of that. We've seen it played out in different places. If we go to the Jakonde market, you know,
I know that market.
Somewhere around Tipa, we used to be, which has now become a Sonwolu market or something like that. You will see that the place is, you know, well arranged, well designed and all of that. Go to Mile 12, you also see the kind of infrastructure that they're putting on the ground there, even though some are saying that they don't know how affordable it's going to be for them. So you should know that Lagos State is constantly developing when it comes to building, putting infrastructure in the place, making it ultra modern, you know, market for people to, you know, have access to. So they are talking about shanties. They're not just talking about, you know, structures that are not, you know, giving, that do not have the requisite documentations and all of that. So I want to believe that the government has a bigger master plan, because out of those places too, you have, by the time you get there, you see that it's so dirty. You see people, transacting on the roads and all of that. So we do not want to see that. We all travel, we see how it is out there. But what government is going to do for these people too, as a buffer, so that they don't feel the impact, especially, it's like double whammy, or double whammy on them. The economy is not really friendly as we speak, even though it's picking up. But the thing is, what is the government going to do for people who are legally doing their businesses there, so that they do not get to feel the brunt, and then so much so now having robbery and all of that around those areas. Yeah.
And then, Olamide, when we talk about the Jakande market, because you mentioned it, I'm happy with what Lagos State is doing. I'm not going to say that. I will take that from them. In terms of infrastructure, they are doing really well. But then again, we see how these shanties, the people that are living there, they make it dirty. Just like everything Ibrahim had said, you go to some of them. There was a time I went to Amo Odofin as well, and when I saw it, I'm like, God, am I still in Lagos? But then again,
you're in Lagos,
but then again, what I wonder is, these people, like he said, Ibrahim actually said everything. The economy is not so friendly. So when you tell them to move, where are they going to? I mean, that's my only fear.
I understand.
That's my only fear.
I understand the need for urban planning and urban renewal. But it's important that this is not quiet gentrification, because like you rightly said, Ria, we are pushing these people away, but where are they going to go? It almost feels as if you're pushing out the poor and inviting the rich in. It's important to know that when we look at the history of Owode Elede, I don't know if I got that right, where they're vital part, a lot of food produce passes through those places. And so when you clear out those shanties, you're cutting out the food traders, you're cutting out small businesses. So it's important that while we want to put policy in place in terms of urban planning and urban renewal, we're not cutting out people's means of survival. I will always say this: empathy is important in policy, in governance. We have to give these people a place to stay. This sort of feels like quiet gentrification. And whether we like it or not, right? Part of the beauty of Lagos is a shanty city. So it should not be about sending these people away. It should be about renewing the look of a shanty. That's what I think.
I beg to differ.
How can we make these communities look better and be more intrinsic to society without the waste management, without the problem?
My problem with the shanties is that they don't take care of it. It looks bad. When you
that's what I'm saying. So we need to rebrand the concept of shanties. We need to renew them, because they are a vital part of our ecosystem.
No, because now you said it very better. Because by what you said, one of the beauties of Lagos is these shanties and all of that. No. No one wants to be identified with something that is very dirty.
I meant metaphorically.
No, I get the point. So the thing there is, if you are selling food, you're selling food produce and all of that, people are consuming this. You can imagine the level of contamination that will be done there. You can imagine the kind of animals, like rodents, cockroaches and all of that, which will be moving freely around there and then getting into foods, fees and all of that. So we do not want people to get sick. Contaminated foods and all of that. So government should ensure that whatever it is that they want to do, think of the buffer. And I know that is what we're largely concerned about on this table. Think of the buffer. What are the things that you're going to put on the ground to ensure that these people do not feel as though they are being attacked, and then they'll be pushed into doing some things because they're doing genuine business at the end of the day. So let's make sure that as we are developing, ultra modern markets, gentrifying these places, we should make sure that people also feel the benefit of it at the end of the day.
When we speak about this, I like to speak about the Jakande because, I've lived there before. I was living there.
You lived inside Jakande market?
When I was suffering. I lived there when the market was still
It doesn't mean people that are living there are suffering. You need to see that place. It's so beautiful.
That's what I'm saying. Right. When I go there now, I'm saluting Lagos State because you still even have some markets there, but they are put well. Like, they're not like how they were on the road before. Before you see tomatoes on the road, like very dirty. Now you see it has been put well. So I really applaud Lagos State for what they're doing. I would give them all their flowers. But what I keep saying is that we have the poor in the shanty. We cannot just throw them away. I know that they will say that in their defense, they've been telling them a long time ago. But what I'm saying is that even though you're telling them a long time ago, 2 days is a bit too short for these people to leave.
I mean, a wise man once said, let the poor breathe. Let the poor breathe.
And the wise man is...
And even what's the local government doing there? That's another thing we need to speak about.
So it's the local government that is carrying out this. And local governments in Lagos State are very, very functional. Most of the local governments in Lagos State, you can't really compare them to other states where we have governors as the emperors of the state. So we talk about Jakande markets. We know that is under the local government, Ikosi, Ketu, and then I think that of Ode Lede, I think that should be under Agboyi. I can't really remember, but Agboeke to, you know, go to Ikorodu, see the kind of development that are going on there on the roads and all of that. So we can only appeal to the local councils to ensure that whatever it is, because they are the closest to the grassroots, and they know, they can feel the pulse of these people.
And there will always be consequences and fallout for displacement. When you displace a group of people, we've seen it in the case studies of IDPs across Nigeria. Like you rightly said, Ibrahim, it's a fallout for so many other things that don't have to happen. And so how we handle these sort of metaphoric internally displaced people is very, very important.
That's right.
As you people know, I relocated from Abuja, and the markets there are simply chef's kiss. I wonder how we can take from that to see how we can not disrupt this vital part of our ecosystem, but also make sure that everything is cleaned up. I know the minister, what's his name? The commissioner for waste management. Is that it?
Tokumba
Wahab. He's doing a wonderful job. It would be great to see his input here and his mind coming to how we can rebrand these shanties, if you will.
And when we talk about Mr. Tokumba Wahab, he's doing a fantastic job. We cannot even take that away from him. We like what Lagos State is doing. We want to see cleaner markets, but please, we're just pleading that these people that you're taking away, let's find a place for them so that they don't get into the streets and do what we do not like.
Even Dr. Muyiwa Gbade of Lom, I believe.
Exactly.